What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after Week 13 in our Columbus Aviators franchise, where the Aviators just defeated their division rival, the Indianapolis Colts, 28-10 to improve to a 7-5 record and have a 2-game winning streak as we get ready for a 3-game road stand, starting off with the 4-8 Cleveland Browns. Looking at the Browns record, that could easily be a winnable game for us, but there's still a lot of concerns for this team right now. You know, I'm looking at the roster right now, and when it comes to scouting, I don't really know what I need. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because I'm looking at the roster and I feel pretty comfortable with the majority of the players that we have in place right now. It's a bad thing because this is not a team that is looking like a Super Bowl caliber team right now, which means there's always weaknesses on this roster that I'm going to have to find and I'm going to have to improve on, even if there's guys that I like in certain spots. You know, part of that could come down to sliders, because I know probably our biggest issue, I would say, is going to be our secondary right now. And, you know, we're allowing teams to pass the ball all over us with extreme efficiency, and that's really been the downside of this team so far. You know, we're doing pretty solid in a lot of areas. I could definitely improve the running game a little bit, like with runs up the middle and stuff like that. But I feel like I have pretty good offensive linemen, you know. Tight end, I feel pretty cool with Chance Jokel, you know, holding down that spot in the future. Right now, we have Wayne Chapman there as well, who's doing pretty good. He's only in his second year, still has a lot of potential there. Overall, I like a lot of what we have on this team. And, again, that's kind of an issue because when we're not dominating right now, it means there's holes that we are going to need to fill. And so I'm going to have to really start looking and examining which spots we could potentially upgrade. If anything, on these middle linebackers, I'd move them to outside linebacker. But again, we have Morgan right there and Arakpo, both of which playing pretty solid. I can't really be mad at them. We have a pretty young secondary. We brought in Prince Amukamara. He hasn't really lived up to expectations yet, but I do have a lot of faith in the player that he can be. But I'm always still down to draft a potential lockdown guy. I mean, look at that. B+ man coverage, B+ zone coverage, base 3-4 defense. Seems like a solid fit for us. But where does he go? You know, Dre Kirkpatrick's been playing well. Like I said, Tyrone Stevens been playing well. Behind him, we have Amukamara. We still have Eduardo Ivory, a rookie, who's not even getting a whole lot of time because we're pretty deep. I mean, Parrish Cox getting a lot of interceptions for us. You know, the coverage in the middle of the field might be an issue, but I like what McElroy and Williamson both bring to the table right now. So, again, we just have to find out where we can improve on throughout the draft, throughout free agency, what changes are going to make this team better. Because I'm looking at it and I feel like we got a pretty solid team right now, and I like the majority of our starters. So it's really coming down to how do we find a way to improve this team, and that's something we're going to have to examine over these last few weeks as the season's winding down. I don't know if you saw this or not, but we are in the lead for the division here. The Jaguars and Texans both right on our heels at 6-6, so one loss by us and one win from each of those two teams, and we all have the same record once again. And that could be dangerous coming up to a road game against the Jaguars. You know, that could definitely be dangerous for us. Let's go ahead and check out the weekly awards, see what we got going on around the league really quick. And so, Week 13, Russell Wilson, 23-29, 307 yards, 5 passing touchdowns. Aaron Lynch with 5 tackles and 4 sacks. Tyrone Stevens for the Aviators with 5 tackles, an interception, a fumble recovered, and a touchdown. And then Ralph for the Broncos, 23-35, 306 yards, 4 passing touchdowns for him. He is really doing a good job taking over for Peyton Manning over there. Let's go ahead and check out the Browns roster, see what we're going up against. Again, they're not sitting too good right now with a 4-10 record. A 4-10 record, my goodness. 4-8 record. But they are going to be at home, so it is going to be an interesting game. Let's go ahead and find out where the Saints are at as well before we continue on. And the Saints did pick up another victory, so they are 7-5 right now. You know, kind of right around, I mean, exactly where we are right now. So that pick, we might have back-to-back picks if the season continues to unfold this way. Injury report, let's see if the Browns are missing anybody right now. See what we're going up against. And they have a few injuries. Damian Williams, their running back, 79 overall, 25 years old. And then Jeffrey Ewing, I believe their rookie quarterback here, 82 overall, only 22 years old. That is a big blow to their team. And that could be part of the reason why, you know, they don't have a great record. They might have a pretty solid team at this point. Remember, we're 3 years down the road, so they could have made some good free agent pickups. They could have made some other moves. Let's go ahead and check out where they're sitting at. So they're going to be rolling forward with Zach Mettenberger. Actually, not a bad option at quarterback for them. And yes, Jeffrey Ewing is a rookie out of Mississippi State. Let's go ahead and check what his stats are. I mean, this guy looks like a pretty solid option. I mean, all these stats for a rookie, the 69 giggity deep throw accuracy, not great. But the fact that he can throw on the run, yeah, 92 speed. I mean, this guy is going to be a threat in the future. But right now, Zach Mettenberger going to have to hold down the team, and pretty solid option. They have Andrew Jordan, a second-year pro, backing him up. Terrence West, and so again, they're missing their #1 running back, their #1 quarterback, and their #1 running back, both out for this game. That's a big blow to a team. You know, that's a lot that you have to adjust in your roster to make those changes. They have brought over Michael Crabtree at wide receiver, Jabriel Albury, a second-year pro, only 5'9", might be a speedster. Tavon Austin, a threat. Andre Roberts and Quentin Patton over here. So a wide variety of different kind of players there. Gresham going to be their tight end with Anthony Fasano backing him up. Joe Thomas, one of the best left tackles in the game. A pretty solid left side of that line there. And overall, a pretty good line. The right side's not as good, but that left side is one of the best we will see. Cameron Hayward going to be at left end over here. Then they have Cedric Thornton playing right end. And then they have Tuitt and Chris... Or not Chris Canty, my goodness. Oh, yeah, Chris Canty. Okay, backing him up. So, I mean, look at the depth there. That is a lot of depth that they are working with right now. And then, of course, Danny Shelton and Kazim Thomas, a rookie out of Florida State right there. Eric Walden going to be a left outside linebacker. James Laurinaitis, a veteran middle linebacker. A guy definitely capable of making some plays. Paul Kruger at right outside linebacker. Joe Hayden, a shutdown corner with Tremont Williams and Justin Gilbert there. All right, going down the list a little bit. They have Gibson, a great free safety, and Dante Whitner, you know, the veteran still getting it done with Morgan Burnett behind him. A lot of depth on this defense, a lot of veteran players. And, you know, they can definitely be a team that's going to compete in the future. You know, without their starting quarterback right now, I think we're at an advantage. They don't have their starting quarterback and running back. But if they can get another wide receiver in next year's draft, and maybe another running back, I mean, that could be a very dangerous team with that offensive line and defense that they are working with. And again, coming back to their defense, you know, they got a lot of playmakers over there. And we know that Marcus Mariota is turnover prone. That could spell bad news for this Aviators if he doesn't play a good game. You know, we never know which Mariota is going to show up. Kind of the Jekyll and Hyde of quarterbacks this season. But either way, if we can pick up a win here, we're going to set the tone for the end of the season, moving to 8-5. Again, a loss could be pretty troublesome with the other two teams right on our heels like that. Let's go see what the Bengals record is coming up, because that could be another tough game being on the road there. And they are going to be down the list a little bit. Okay, so they're actually worse. Wait, I passed them. Because I didn't see the Bengals at all. Where are they at? Okay, they're 6-6 right now. Okay, defense is giving up a lot of points, so that's good news for our offense. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Once again, I hope everybody's having a great Christmas, guys. Enjoy your time with your family and friends, and I will see you guys next time. Later.